Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the new episode of Morphine Motorsport podcast series. The idea is very simple. We sit down with industrial experts, motorsport experts, and talk about what's happening in current motorsport scenario, the culture, the industry, and everything running around it. So, Jeet, are you ready for same?
Yeah, let's just go. Go for it.
So, front wheel drive or rear wheel drive?
Always a rear wheel drive.
Ambassador or Padmini?
Well, Padmini to be precise, 118 Annie.
Old school analog machine or modern tech monsters?
Always an old school.
Here's a tricky one. Brand new Mercedes S-Class or a Stage 4 tuned Honda Civic?
Stage 4 Japanese any day.
Right. So rally racing or circuit racing?
Well, rally racing has my heart.
Right. Drift build or track build?
Well, drift build onto then track build.
Comfort type build or raw racing driver build?
My heart has on the hard one, which is not anybody can do it, but yeah, it takes a lot of mind, soul, and heart, and only passionate people can deliver that kind of build. So yes, hard build.
So a track day at DIC or drifting in Lonavala Ghats?
Well, if permissions ever allowed, it will be a drifting at Ghats, but on a very safe atmosphere, nothing in public.
Oh, nice. A perfect machine or multiple flawed machines?
Well, if I was heading to a track day, I like a perfect tuned machine. But on a garage party or any other day, I love for a mismatched machine or probably all over the place. I love to fix it up.
Nice. So I think these answers themselves introduce our guest for tonight. We have Mr. Jeet Tapaswi, the founder of Tapaswi Racing. Hello, Jeet. Welcome to the episode.
Well, Azmat, absolute pleasure of mine. I think Morphine Motorsports, I always envision for them to do something to carry this whole motorsports, the way you guys are driving it at the track, plus to carry it through a podcast. I think it's absolute pleasure to be here.
Most welcome, Jeet. So, Jeet, we have seen your profile and we have gone through a lot of things that you are more into the raw people, the people who are enthusiastic about the cars, enthusiastic about the motorsport, the culture. So, how this thing started?
Well, I must have mentioned this in the past, but yeah, I mean, it runs in the blood. My family's been into rally racing.
Oh.
My uncle's been a hardcore dirt bike rally racer himself. So MX, rally, cars and bikes both ran very heavily in the family. That's how we grew up looking at my dad, my uncle. And somewhere it stayed with me. So there was a period of 15, 20 years where there's not much of action that happened. Family business didn't do really well. But yes, I think something that didn't leave me was motorsports in me and what I saw when I was growing up. So yeah, I mean, that's where it's coming in, and it's coming in. It is very strongly in me is what I see. As much as I'm doing things and I'm thinking only loving it more. So yes.
So yeah, I've also heard that you are into this motorsport since I guess 17 years. You have more than 100 races which you have raced. You have been into drifting. You have been into 4x4. You have been into motocross as well. So how this punch of motorsport, professional motorsport came into you? When was the first time you interacted with this?
Look, it wasn't easy, but if you ask me, the plan was always to, if I could, I would love to do motorsports full time. Oh. But like I said, I also had to take care of my studies and then go back to form a career out of whatever I do. And of course, go back and do whatever it takes to keep a balanced lifestyle. That was very conscious. So 100, when you say it sounds like more of races that I must have done. But if you were to ask me another 100, I would still be giving you go ahead. That much motorsports racing is what I would love to kind of complete in the days to come. But yes, like I said, I think professional racing started way back. Like it could be once in 2 months I mean, the races were not happening as much. I would have done probably more. But as and when they happened and when they were around Pune, and if the financial condition of mine allowed me, I went ahead and did it. But yes, started very novice, was to do around the place with friends, then move on to do professional. But yeah, it teaches you a lot many things apart from just racing itself. Like adrenaline rush, I think it teaches you patience. It teaches you what is discipline. That's the biggest character that it develops in you. So yes, I think I started loving discipline, character building in me as much as I was loving motorsport. So I kind of combined the two. And as and when there was an opportunity to race, I showed up myself to most of the time lose and sometimes win and take back some good memories as well.
So, as you talked about the character and discipline, I want to ask, people see only the outer part. You are racing, you are doing good, and everything is flourishing everywhere. But what toll it takes on you, considering your corporate as well, your family as well, your health, financials. So, what toll it takes on you to be a racing enthusiast as well as a champion, or you can say an event organizer?
Well, any sort of hobby will require commitment. Otherwise, if you're passionate about something, it'll not come easy. But throughout the journey, it'll teach you many things. Like, I mean, the first and the foremost character is, I think, to fail. Yeah. Like, you'll never win in the first 2 years, whatever you try and do. You'll never be the best in your hobby or a passion, whatever you're passionate about. You'll learn over the course of time. So, failure is the biggest thing. I think unless you taste failure, you don't know how a success would taste like. And then going back, every time you lose and then coming back and then still want to go back and do the same thing, a lot of people term it as madness, but that is what I term it as my passion. So it teaches you to bounce back every time there's a failure. And of course, you start accepting your own mistakes. I didn't win a race because I lacked fitness, my car wasn't, or my bike wasn't up to the mark, my kit wasn't up to the mark, my practice wasn't up to the date. That's how I look back. And every time I race with myself, saying, am I better than previous time? So I didn't really chase wins. It came as and when I gave more time to my sport or the motorsport that I love. Like, I mean, seat time and all of that. So patience with discipline is what I carried. And look, I mean, success was only 10%. 90% was failure. And I love with what it taught me throughout the course. We talk about success and failure. There's 90% of other characters is building on you. Like, you are okay to face by yourself the world. You show up, you do your entry, then you listen to the marshal out there, then you face the heat, then sometimes you're facing the heavy rains. All of this, no school will teach you. Motorsports is teaching you, but it's not telling you. That's the character that's probably the reason, Azmat, I want to tell you, is why I connect with as many people to tell them, hey, taste this. If you don't like it, it's your call. Yeah. But for you, you may find a lot of other benefits, characters, or other skills that you will take out of motorsports. That's how I connect with them, and that's how I have so many people who are with me as my team also. So they've also connected with me on the same lines.
Nice. So it was all passion initially going on.
Yes.
And then at what moment did you realize that, okay, now let's make a culture out of this passion. Let's make a community out of this passion. The start of Underground. How did it came?
Yeah. Look, I was always crazy about cars. Like, my dad has the best of the cars back in the generation. And I would show up on the races if I wasn't racing. I've seen how these Hondas, the Lancers, the Zen, the Gypsies, how they perform. And they were always around with friends and family. So if I said if I had the money, I'll buy a Zen. Then the answer when I bought a Zen is like, if I had the money, I'll buy a Gypsy. That's how all those heroes that were there in our mind as cars, I wanted to have them in my garage. I had them and I was working on them. I got them cleaned. I used to drive them around, and then I realized there are a lot of people who are loving this as well. And then, of course, there are friends who were into part of it. We were very small back in the days. Then one night it was so that we believed is like us, there will be many other people. And I think that's the people that I also want to be around. And more the merrier, right? And I mean, if you build your Zen, you may pass on to the story to somebody else and inspire him. Or if somebody's built a Zen better than you can learn from him. So communities like Team BHP, or we go back to various different forums that existed on your online, were the trend. But we said, let's just go back to the old school ways of doing things. And in the bargain, we learned two things: invite people and just see who all are available. And I was very lucky to see, I was just wanting this to be announced. Like, I could probably be a medium, but the community already exists. Like, there were so many people who were like me, who must have seen their dads, who must have raced. And in Pune, like, everybody's seen motorsports very heavily. Like, it's been an automobile hub since like we know ourselves. And the amount of races happened back in the days. There were international rallies, races, motocross that happened in Pune. We didn't even know about him like about 10, 12 years back then, since people started speaking about it. So there was a connect. There was a reason for us to do this. We were searching more brothers like us, and that's how the whole underground culture found its place. Like, we wanted to keep it very small, niche. Like 10 years, we kept it very tight. But then we said it's unfair to not take it to people who we are not available to. And then we said, let's just be the torchbearers to take this up, to say, if you do it in the right way, we support you. We give you a platform. We teach you what it takes. And then, of course, the journey started. And, rest is history. We have Nike Underground happening now every corner of India.
Yeah.
Like I've heard Nasik, Aurangabad, Mumbai. I don't know, weird places that I haven't heard it.
Yeah.
As far as they are all doing it for the culture and not just for the show business, so called, I will pretty happy to see how the scene is right now. Every next day when I'm an early riser, everything that's motorsport related or underground related, AI throws it to me on my page. And honestly, it just says like the world 10 years back or 5 years back versus now, like you're waking up to undergrounds happening in different corners of the world. And I mean, different corners of India. And I think that is one just story. And then apart from that, 40 cars, drift cars we've built, that we've sent it across to various corners of India. And they are creating the culture, which is a drift culture. So we are simultaneously fighting motorsports, underground car culture, and of course, rising more people who love cars now. So I think a vision was back in the days, about 17, 18 years back, then we planted this. But we've been very lucky to see what we are seeing already. It's amazing.
Recently, we have seen that there's a very much rise and love for the motorsports. But what thing has changed? Can you just define? Because you are seeing it from a very different angles. You have been a racer as well. You are organizing underground and other cultural events as well. And you have been part of a big supercross event as well.
Yeah.
So you are seeing it from different angles.
Right.
What things you can say have changed or helped this culture grow?
Yeah, look, I mean, I would want to go back to something that we all face and was heavy on us, COVID. I think we've seen a drastic change after COVID. People wanted to live a little more. And that's when people started exploring passion. Yeah. And I think we were out there till then, and that's where they thought this could be a decent one to explore. That's where it came in as a benefit to us as well. Well, a lot of people that we thought were interested in this. And of course, there are people like you. Morphine Motorsports is doing a lot in terms of developing and taking it to colleges. I think that's the kind of people like you and other communities who are working simultaneously, and then we bringing in the additional helping hand. Put together, all of that is going in the right spirits. But like you ask, what change are you seeing? Mm-hmm. A lot of people out there is doing this for likes. A lot of people out there is doing it not in the right sense. Like, last thing that you want to connect with motorsports and show your skills on the road, putting other people's life. I mean, motorsports is the first thing that it says, safety first. With India, we come with a lot of population. There are people everywhere. And now there are schools, like there are stunt schools, drift schools, rally schools, every day, which are done in the same atmosphere. If people pick that aspect like really well, I can tell you, it's just you not finding your passion, but you will also find your parents finding a new respect for you and supporting you in whatever you're doing. Honestly, just go back to do it in the right sense. Tell to your parents, they will not want to let you down on your passion. They will instead support you, fund you, and take you to new places. That's the shift that I've seen. While I spoke about some people doing it to trying to be cool, but parents out there, like we have heavily our elderly people coming and supporting us. They've blessed us with their presence. They're liking what we're doing. Yeah. A lot of people write to us saying, hey, this culture wasn't there. So I am saying there's a cultural shift in how parents were looking at motorsports. Now they want to pursue their kids. It could be ISRL, it could be Go-Kart. We've seen it all. Like it's all happening in India. Another shift, and that is not many people would know about this. There are about 5 racetracks. When have you heard there is a grade 3 racetrack in India apart from BIC that we know? Yeah. MMRT and all existed from like 50, 60 years. My dad has raced over there. But privateers are building racetracks. You know, if the journey is like this, like it's going steady upwards, it's going to be 90-degree flat up. Okay. After these 2 racetracks open in India. Okay. And then motorsports is going to be very soon, in about 3 years, you'll see a lot of international people coming to India, plus us traveling and competing at international level. So very interesting phase for anybody who's associated with motorsports. Motorsports is on a rise just to hit international anytime soon.
Absolutely. This is going to happen. Even we are seeing this since a lot of days, and we are also expecting this to motorsport to become an legitimate sports in India. Do you think government is taking motorsport seriously? Yes or no, and why?
Well, with government, I wish, and I see some posts where Honorable Sports Minister of India is kind of acknowledged, and there are posts that I've seen that they've been keen to get Formula One and MotoGP, and honestly, that is where it starts. If you talk about government, they also need to talk about safety, and with the population that we have, safety aspect is really big. But look at the kind of roads that are being developed by Mr. Gadkari sahab. So,
yeah.
I mean, that just tells that there is an appetite for fast drivers. And if not for motorsports, at least schools that are teaching you safe driving, because the roads are getting better, cars are getting faster. All of that is coming in play. But if you're associated with motorsports, you'll obviously be better with driving. And that will complement you as a skill every time you find yourself on the road. Otherwise, it's a dangerous place as well.
Yeah.
But government can do better. And the answer is yes. But I also know that there are priorities that are before they get down to motorsports. But they're speaking about Formula One and MotoGP. That itself is a big grace. But with motorsports comes an authority. Sports minister isn't aligned with FMSCI yet. They don't recognize them as a sports body. I think that gap exists. And that's a different story altogether about FMSCI that we can speak sometime later maybe.
Sure. So, yeah, as you told, BIC is one of the place where it's a kind of temple in India for racing.
Correct.
Do you see some more better tracks of F1 level coming to India?
Well, big investment, honestly. And I think return on investment in India may not be profitable if a privateer is there yet. It can be funded by the government to bring in like tourism, because it supports tourism heavily. But BIC in itself, if it flourishes and is sitting right on the capital, it has all the infrastructure to be one of the best. Like, I mean, last time when the MotoGP happened, a lot of riders mentioned about how the BIC track is one of the best tracks to ride on. And I think apart from the attention that it gets, like, I mean, we are the after like China and Japan, I think we are the top automobile manufacturers. We have the presence of all that is getting done out of India. So when there is so much happening about automobile, there's complementary part about how like a racetrack would only complement. There are better things will come out of this. So I see a gap, but yes, if there's more on motorsports that government can do, people like will be the happiest Indian ever. Like, I'm the proudest Indian ever, but still, I mean, I'll be the happiest Indian after that.
Okay. So now we have talked about the government. Government is pushing somewhat towards motorsport. Also,
Correct.
there's one more industry, the automotive industry. Do you think they should take a step ahead to promote this kind of thing? I've seen Royal Enfield is promoting their Continental Cup. Volkswagen, they used to do Vento Cup and Polo Cup. So do you think the automotive industry's pivot is also required to promote motorsports in India?
Look, you're talking about claiming your bike to be fastest, safest, and any resemblance that is drawn out of a racetrack. We all know how Germany or Japan is legendary, because everything that came out of the racetrack is what comes out on production, right?
Right.
So better you are, like if Ducati is the best on a MotoGP track, that's how Ducati sales directly gets pushed, right? I mean, that's the format that we've known of. So if KTM has already launched their like KTM track day, and I think they do KTM Orange Day race day as well. RE is since beginning very heavily involved. They're on to flat track, they're on to street circuit. We know how GT Cup is, how famous is GT Cup. And of course, there are tours that they do around Himalaya and stuff otherwise. So I think RE hands down does it right, and they know. And that's the reason why it's just like a week back that we've heard they're the best automobile manufacturers in the world. Like, they sit on third. And they push two companies down to move into third position. Because look at their association with motorsports all around. And that's how it's directly transferring into, directly proportionate to their sales that's happening. The higher the sales and better the components of the bike makes you what you are today, like the legendary manufacturer across the world, right?
Right.
So, I mean, yes, there's a direct link. All automobile sectors should look at, like in the car scene, if we have the manufacturers come in, like the Suzukis or the Hondas, the game will change. Like, we'll have a new motorsports, and it attracts multiple other things. And the amount of jobs that you will generate because you're doing a motorsport event as a factory it's a different ball game altogether. I'll do good in a lot many ways to India.
Right. So automotive companies, yes, they are pushing towards bringing motorsport alive. But again, one more thing is contradicting them is introduction of electric vehicles. So now they are more interested into electric vehicles. So how we can push this thing into motorsport? Direct question: does electric vehicles have place in motorsports?
Well, as much as I want to put my mind in it, I may not be the best person to speak about electric because I can only abuse it. Like, I mean, there is so many theories about it. Like, I can tell you, Porsche is back on his journey to do V8s, V6 engine. Likewise, I can give you multiple other stories that I've read about. Multiple manufacturers have had the worst of their time shift into electric. And I think it's a scam. We did electric. I mean, sometimes it helps because you're committing much. But to push, that's the only way to be. I think it's a scam in multiple ways. I don't know why people would be doing it. Disposing a battery, it stresses me when we speak about like a combustion engine throwing pollution versus disposing a battery. Like we've just started the journey.
Yeah.
Everybody is now using the batteries. 6 years and look at the amount of batteries that will be available to just dispose. What do we do about them? I mean, as many times I've looked back to answer that question to myself, the amount of dirt that we're going to throw on earth is not going to be compared to what a combustion engine is doing right now. Exactly. So I think it's a scam. See, I mean, it's faster, it's convenient, but it's heartless. Like, I mean, I don't drive an automatic. Imagine what an electric must be doing to me. I mean, given an option, if I get into any position, electric cars will be burnt and nobody will ever see them again. Right. That's how I don't like them as much.
So many people look motorsport as their passion. Since the industry is growing, few people are more attracted towards taking that passion towards profession in motorsport. How do you see that? Is there still a chance for a person to be financially stable only because of motorsports?
Yeah, look, I mean, we've all heard it. It's written in the ancient books. Your passion and your profession can run simultaneously. The day it becomes your profession, you're the luckiest guy. With me, I consciously keep it away because with passion, if it becomes profession, you will seek money out of it.
Right.
That's where it gets commercial. Like I've had with a couple of my passion in the past. Like, I mean, I love clothing. And I opened a boutique to realize some people don't like what I wear and what's the actual price of it. And then now I look at it on those lenses. So I think, yes, I mean, coming back to your original question, let the passion be passion and enjoy it. That's it. See, I mean, for profession, you go for your stomach because you earn your living. For passion, you go and it hits your heart straight up. Right. So these are two different things that you're targeting. And if it's separated, and sometimes you're stressed at work, you go to your passion. But if your passion is only become stress, where do you go? So at least from my advice, I think I still want to keep them separate. Even if I had an option, I wouldn't want to make it my profession because then I started seeking money out of it. And it's heavily commercial after that.
Okay. So, like, there are multiple students right now. Even when I visited your Ahmedabad event, many kids, they were very much fascinated with this, and they were telling to their parents, "Papa, मेरे को भी ये करना है, मेरे को भी ये करना है." So,
look, I mean, I am pretty happy. Look, I mean, I have kids in my house. Thing that I know, they are into songs, some Korean songs. Like I don't even understand.
Yeah,
they are into mobile games, and they can sit through all night just playing mobile games, which are very disastrous to your mind also. Like you're shooting, killing people in the night. What would you do? Wake up next day? Right. Like imagine, where are you even going with this? Like, I mean, honestly, I am disturbed. The kind of things that are people getting used to. Cafe culture. And like in Pune is Oxford of East. We know them as for education. Second thing that I would like Pune to know it for is motorsports. You know what people know Pune for? Drinking culture, clubbing, and a young kid crashing into people and killing two people. That's what Pune, if you look up searches for Pune,
exactly.
It hurts me as a Pune boy. Like I've been born and brought up here. I know what it is, how beautiful this place is, and what all can we grow. We've got Mercedes at our backyard. We've got Bajaj on my right. And I think you name the manufacturer is sitting right here, and everybody wants to be in Pune. And we take a lot of pride in that, right? I mean, university is one where people across India come here to study. Yeah. But next thing I love for people to come is motorsports. Let's shift our base to Pune. Isn't that a very great thing, Radha?
It is.
Yeah, I mean that's what I want to take it. That's the reason why there's ISRL which has our blind support. Then there is Sham sir who does motocross national events for I don't know how many years that I've seen him doing it. Supported completely. We've restarted underground car culture. There are multiple other sports that has stemmed out of Pune. So if you look back at history, we are heading towards the right direction. And I think the game changer is not only racetrack.
Yeah.
It's gonna shift racing, shift Pune's image that people have in so many ways. So many ways. So I'm super excited what's lined up for Pune. And I think we are pretty charged in terms of how we are going across the country, telling them what is India capable of, what are we doing, and people are already happy. Like you said, kids are getting inspired. Do you want them to be sticking to all of that sissy games, or do you want them to get out and make them the real men? Currently, they're heading towards a very, I mean, by the time they're 18, 25, their back is hurting, they have broken bones, they're couching, pot bellies out and all of that.
Bigger glasses.
Exactly. I mean, look at that. I mean, we know ourselves to be playing out cricket, football, and I mean, that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
So I definitely is very excited to raise more kids who are getting excited with all of this and some point in time stepping out to find their own passion. Currently, they're getting inspired by people saying, somebody's playing video game, I want to do the same. You rather do something which is
real.
Right.
Yeah.
And which is teaching you so many things, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Jeet, we wanted to explore more about the careers in motorsports. So let's say if someone want to make their career in motorsports, what are the lines he should choose and what are all the teachings he should get?
Right. Then we're talking about your professional soon after 12th standard. Once you've taken, you shift to an automobile engineering is the best way. And I think the kind of infrastructure that you support, everybody who's out of engineering, automobile, kind of platform that you give. Like I don't know of any privateer to kind of organize such professional sports that you guys organize, put the team together, get them to build their carts, test them and do an endurance race. I think it's something that I've only seen internationally, Germany, Australia and otherwise. But I think if that tells you the amount of participation that you guys have, like 100 teams from all over the India, you know how much appetite sits there. And then you say professionally, then Azmat needs a scrutineer, a guider, a mentor, or somebody who's a supplier, somebody who's a racer, all of this. If you look back at, this is where they can all make a profession out of it. And I mean, if there's so much interest from the kids, you could be supplier, you could be mentor, you could be racer, you could have your own racing infrastructure. All of this will mean that you're a professionally into motorsports. Apart from choosing a very heavy line of a tuner, becoming a supplier in terms of getting international products, or building a garage or supplying things otherwise yourself. There are multiple other such avenues. Sheer population of India allows us to open an avenue and make business out of it. I mean, that's the blessing of being in India. You have a craving, you like something, at any point in time you can switch careers and still do very well for yourself.
Exactly. So Jeet, we were talking about the careers. So in our student motorsport industries, usually the students who come in their engineering college, they come close to motorsport in the second year, third year,
right,
or maybe final year. So do you think that is the right time for the entry into the motorsport, or they are late?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, that's just like they are now they're mature to understand what kind of career path that they want to take. And I think that's the timing is just perfect for them to taste motorsports. See, a lot of people will not be ready for that kind of commitment, are not ready. See, it's hard in the beginning. It doesn't pay you. That's the worst part. And I mean, if some people may have a commitment to start earning for their family immediately. I mean, it could be personal needs in terms of commitment to the family as well. So I'm okay and respect for people who choose other professions to make some money, stabilize their career. And I think if that kind of commitment sits with you, it's completely all right to go back like how I must have done. I continue to work. It's been 25 years that I'm working in a insurance company. I chose insurance because it still allows me to stay around with the cars, and Australia cars are the best again. So I work around them, and that's how I gain my knowledge. And so I chose to simultaneously earn a living for myself, make enough money so that I can buy cars that I always dreamt about. And this could be some other people, like me, somebody who's out there, has commitment for family, can choose to go and take a different career. And if somebody has a freedom to kind of start their career from there, like you said, that's like a guy living on a golden spoon. Like, I mean, he should start then and there. And we have many examples like Ruhan Alwa, many people who've already at a verge of F4, like Sarthak, who's a Pune boy. He's our best bet for MotoGP. He's winning races internationally, left, right, and center. Give him 2 years and you'll see him like an first Indian ever to get to Moto3.
Oh.
So the journeys, and there are enough examples right now for you to see that people have making decent careers out of this.
So we have seen like when we see internationally, if someone wants to become a driver, specifically driver, not the mechanic or the crew part, but if someone wants to be a driver, they start very early at their age, like around 4, 6.
Yeah. Like, I mean, see, that's the right age. And I think every time we refer to abroad, like Nürburgring and all I've been, it's a culture that sits in there. For us, it's a sport. So imagine if there are parents who are into motorsports. In India, I know of so many other families that if I was as a parent in motorsports before, straight up I've got my kids to start whatever he is like. I know of so many kids who are racing. Like, we've never seen a kid professionally racing in motocross before, like now, but the age is as early as 5 years, 6 years.
Yes.
And likewise, we've never seen them doing professionally so well in karting. Now I know a Pune boy who's Saeed's son.
Yeah.
He's up there racing in Dubai and killing it. So there are so many such examples, and I'm in touch with so many other people across India. The kids are right up there and doing so well for themselves. But like you said, the age that is right if the ecosystem existed. Unfortunately, it's not so profound. So some parents have also moved abroad to kind of get their kids into motorsports. But look, I mean, life's got challenges for you. Sometimes you should have, it takes money off you, right? So you got to plan, and I think you got to balance it out. I think that's also an art.
As we hear, motorsport is an expensive shit. Is it really?
Well, a lot of passion are expensive, and I think motorsport is one such. It can be kept on higher up the ladder. See, you're talking about moving parts. We're talking about, when motorsports, you're talking about the best parts that you're going to put on your car, because that's what the passion demands, right? And I think tires are expensive. And of course, the safety equipment in itself is a lot of investment. But we all get inspired by people like Marc Marquez and multiple other heroes that are in motorsports. But look at them, and I think they've done well because they've carried certain discipline to get that amount of money and then attention and then amount of trainers, right trainers. And then, of course, you got to be at your best physical health to perform in motorsports. That also is an investment. Right amount of food, right amount of eating, somebody to guide you all the time and all of that. That's what the whole proposition makes it expensive. And the answer is yes, motorsports is expensive. But you live to chase a passion, right? If it's passion for you, you got to make it happen, whatever it takes to get there to make it happen, right? And I think, talking about passion, Mr. Sanjay sir, who's a Pune legend and racing internationally now, only guy to have entered Dakar in a four-wheel category. Yeah. He decides to start professional racing only at the age of 39.
Right.
And look at his journey at 39. He must have had all the money to follow his passion. He's done the right training. He's had the right focus, fitness, discipline to reach Dakar. Nothing is beyond that, right?
Yeah.
So he's a living legend telling you, if you have the passion and if the right passion, if there's an urge in you, there's nothing that's stopping you.
Absolutely. But since we talk about expensive, even the brands can help them.
Well, honestly, for me as a brand to help you, I need you to prove me. It's also fair as an ask. I see a potential in you, but unless you prove your mettle, why would I want to invest in you? And we are 144 billion, out of which I'm assuming 40 billion will be the kids. How many billion that a brand would go back to sponsor? So some bit of investment for yourself, for your passion, and then let the brands come and support you. But you got to prove yourself. Imagine a brand puts all the money in you and the next day you decide, I don't like motorsports. Then where does the brand go? And I think, with what the blessing in India is, again, now everybody is a hero. As we speak today, I am sitting out of Gwalior, a random guy out of a very remote village. I have an inspiration that I've drawn out of Ashton, if you saw, a fitness influencer from US. This is as we speak. So he's copying him out of Instagram. He's replicating him. So Aston is his hero, and he's copying everything that he does for fitness here. That guy sitting out of a village which is Morena in Gwalior has reached Aston's attention. Aston said, if you continue what you're doing, and if your post this I'm talking to you reaches certain level, I will come to India. And then there is a next post, and I will not only come to India, I will gift you a car. As we speak, somebody like a legend, like an Aston from US on a private jet has flown today, landed in Mumbai today, and is in Gwalior in his small town, which is not even like, 10 by 10 feet of a house. Today. That's the power of social media. If you are passionate about something or something, you will attract the energy. And so many people that we know are an Instagram hero to move back to become a passionate singer, dancer, a movie star, and all of that. Like, I know of so many examples. Why can't motorsports be one? Like, you go back to say, what are you doing for your preparations, for drifting, for racing, what kind of knowledge you have? Some company will pick you up as an influencer and then want to invest in you to go back and follow your passion. There are ways, this is what I want to tell you.
So right now, social media is one of the platform where you can get what you want. You need attention.
Absolute. There are people who are just enlightening people with their knowledge. You are gaining and talking about your knowledge. And there are so many people who gain fame out of it. And then Instagram, then progressing to YouTube, and then money flows in. That's one way of funding yourself and your passion.
But also there's every coin has two sides. From motorsports also, I have seen some people, they become very much influenced with the post which we put. They try to improve themselves as a driver, as a racer, or try to become a good mechanic. But on the other side, when someone sees you drifting, or when someone sees someone doing stunts and all, they go into the public and repeat the same.
Look, then this is a differentiator. Like I'm saying, then this tells you who's a wannabe. Like, if he doesn't understand, by doing drifting, I get you want to get likes, but by putting somebody else's life, like how short-lived will be your startup. Imagine. And I think, see, a crowd is liking what you're doing on the road, and there could be a video there, but there is 70% of the crowd who's matured, educated, who's hating that and making fun of you. And probably as parents have told them, you should not become like him.
Yeah.
But do you want to be one of those examples? And see, things have changed. Earlier, like I said, the worst thing for the tuner culture right now is people going to college, modifying their cars is great, but going to college and revving and speeding.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then somebody in college is going to go pick up his father's car, not telling his father, go back and repeat the same thing in the road outside and maybe kill somebody or probably have an accident himself. That's not what should carry to the college. When you go to your college, obviously demand for a safe space. Don't rev or put your pops and bangs. That's not what a car culture is, honestly. You do that in a safe atmosphere. Even if you want to do it, you're literally killing the engine. Next thing that you're blowing dust on people's mind. And I think what you're doing is just making India look down like such an uneducated market. And a lot of international people who not like that. And you're putting India down by calling you're a passionate car guy. And I will never associate with you, honestly.
So you think there should be a governing body who should control all this? Because motorsport is growing, people are liking all this stuff.
While as much as I would like a governing body to take care of this, I'm glad, like Surat, I was in Surat. If they see anything on social media like this, where you've done something stupid on the road or at college or something, they'll come to your house. Like, your car's been picked up and then there's a case against you. I was amazed this exists in India. I like it to be across India. And a lot of states are picking this up. Like, if they see you doing stupid stuff, they come and kind of pick you up. Social media gets everybody's houses, right? Come straight up to your house and pull you up with some heavy fine. Otherwise, it could be jail also sometimes.
So, can FMSCI play a role in this thing?
Honestly, I know they're like a small body, and I know some people who are really amazing in there, but only few people can they make a difference. The answer is no. I would like a body to go back, form a bigger team, and probably strategically play more roles in Indian motorsports. And least that we discuss is through their channel or through their events. They should start their events by talking more about safety and not telling them these are not heroes, these are jokers who are doing this on the roads. I think little that they do will spread a very big message.
Yeah, because when we see FIA or FIM, they promote these things a lot.
Absolutely.
But in India, there's nobody who is telling them some social media post or Twitter post like horn bajayega to ye hoga wo hoga. Those things are different. But
No, you're
someone is not
completely right.
controlling
I think, see, they do events across India. They're the best medium that they can go back and spread this message very loudly. And if I was racing somewhere, I'm required to get their license. So while I sign a form that I'm going to be okay, but it doesn't say I'm going to be safe is okay, but it never says that there's no test for you to say how can you be safe, who are the heroes, who are the jokers. That discrimination doesn't happen. And there could be bulletins, there could be messages, there could be WhatsApp groups that they can go back and tell people to be safe on the road and not try anything that they're doing. If they call themselves as a racer, it has to be done in a closed circuit and not anywhere on the road.
Absolutely. So can you just give me some points of what things are pulling motorsport in India?
Yeah, honestly, I think, see, with Drive to Survive in Formula One, that has changed how many people are watching Formula One in India.
Yeah.
Like we love drama. And I know a lot of my people who were not even close to motorsports have started joining it. And I think MotoGP that happened and came in India at BIC, that changed so many things. Like so many Indians started knowing who's Marc Marquez, who's Bagnaia, who's Jorge Martin, and people like that. And then started celebrating. That's where our local legends will be more recognized and they will start relating to these people and then start celebrating motorsports even more. So I think, yes, I think more events like this are changing faces of motorsports in India.
So can you just give me some names who people can be the torchbearer? One, you are there. Other.
Look, I mean, I'm a very small player, and if I'm ever called to a college, that's where I start with a message. And I think, see, we have a school where we teach drift, and I have a crew member who's about 150 people strong. The messaging through them also is the same. They're the decent set of people learning every day, and wherever we go, we spread it. But yes, I mean, there are legends like Sanam, there's legends like Gaurav Gill, Sanjay Takle sir, and I think Sham Kotari sir. These are people whom I have watched, grown, learn, look forward to them for them as idols. These are the people who are bigger torchbearers and are running at international levels. So yes, I think put together a bit of all of us, and I think we'll be in a better place. And I think, like I said, Azmat, a lot has changed. And I think what among these heroes is one such thing that is very close to being a hero, like what you guys do. You're the ones who are meeting people right when they are at the verge of getting maturity. You're the ones who are meeting that 150, 80 teams coming together still means 5 people each team. I mean, 400 people to 500 people at an event. And these are the people who carry message abroad. Like, I mean, to the wider audience.
Absolutely.
These are the ones that you are tapping and you're touching and you're teaching a message. So amount of goodness that you and your team are doing by organizing these events at an India level is unbelievable. Like, I mean, it gives me shivers when I say I want to do this. Amount of logistical challenge that you must be going. And I know for a fact that it doesn't pay you. Like you must be doing this purely for your passion. But that's where I said, in a little smaller ways, if Morphine Motorsports, I want to be associated with it in terms of, because you're touching where it all starts, like the core of motorsports. That's the set of people who are going to eventually become stars and carry motorsports in their hands. And which is what you're touching and spreading the right message. So all the respect for motorsports and you guys. And I think passionate people like you is what we love to connect and grow in whatever it takes from us. So
Thank you for those words, Jeet. You visited us in the first season. You have done very big events with a lot of people. What was your first impression when you entered the MMS premises?
look, honestly, I was called and then I said, okay, I've been to such college event where there are gatherings, but sheer amount of team participating blew my mind. And I think there's decent amount of rush. And then part 2 is where they are going to be building their own karts, competing against each other under certain guidelines. What else is motorsports? If you compound this 1,000 times, becomes from F1. That's exactly what you're telling people what it takes. If that's your goal, you have to exceed here. You're teaching them so many other aspects which are important, which no schools otherwise is teaching. Competing, failure, patience, fighting that weather, developing that character, losing, and then team bonding. Like nobody teaches you. And if I was a part of the team, I have to become an effective communicator. My articulation has to be well. No other team, no other school is teaching these skills to you. Such an important skill that if my team has to be a winning team, we have to bond among each other. If the bond doesn't exist, even if I have the fastest car, I won't win. So all of that aspect, which are such life skills that you're teaching them right there, and that's what motorsport also offers. But you're targeting when it matters the most. They are at the age of like just graduating from the college. Amount of goodness that you're doing to them is insane. I don't know if the students are realizing or their parents are realizing this. But later or sooner they will.
Every year when we conclude an event, out of those, at least 5 to 6 people reach out to become a good motorsport engineer. Some goes to some of the people, if I can say, a few are in Mercedes base flow designing in US. Some are working in Seattle. So they have reached a good height from this grassroots level.
Look, I mean, these are the people who've made it really big. But everybody else who's coming out of it would be thanking you for various skills that you're imbibing in them. Apart from just sticking to their line of automobiles and motorsports. Like some of you and me may not be tracking, but I was in Madras, Chennai shooting for a movie. There are companies around them and they're the ones who came for the shoot. I was shooting for a movie. I was doing stunting, skill driving, precision driving for supercars. I have had them stayed with me all night because some of them have competed in such competitions. So motorsports will stick to them and their company working with, like, to be precise, they were all out of Michelin factory. These guys to join to Michelin factory and now had come to see me throughout the shoot. I met them there, imagine that corner of India where I'm in Pune, and they must have competed in one of their events because a few of them also mentioned about their events.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
We are very glad to hear about this. So, you told me that you have been into movies as well. I've seen your ad. You work for Thums Up, right?
Well,
give me that
look,
experience.
I could only get lucky. Like, I mean, there is absolute no business for me to be in an ad or a movie. I mean, I can only be grateful where somebody must have seen Instagram. We spoke about it. It works. Or it could be some friend who would recommend it somewhere. But I was myself surprised. Like, they said, hey, Hanuman kind, he's a hero for me. Love for him to be at my show. It's like, then until I got to my dress rehearsal, they didn't mention Thums Up. And then I knew how big of a Thums Up. I mean, always cheered as a kid about Thums Up and how you're associated with anything which is adventurous is Thums Up.
Yeah.
And Thums Up with motorsports, next level.
Next level.
Like meeting Usain Bolt through drifting. I was called saying that you're going to perform for Usain Bolt. It was, again, a dream come true. Likewise, the biggest dream, like I've seen Fast and Furious movie. Universal calls up and I'm somebody's trying to fool around with me. Like, we're calling from Universal, we like to launch our movie in India with you. Like, they did premiere with me. Like, I mean, I have goosebumps while I'm talking to you. So Universal, where the movies that are childhood, like I still have the CDs with me that I've watched, grown Paul Walker, and you're doing a premiere for them with whatever you're doing. And then I think somebody in South, like, I mean, you know how much action they have. And they wanted me to do they called me saying that it's a movie shoot. We'd like you to do your precision driving. I was like, okay, I mean, it's exciting. Then they also mentioned about the hero of the movie. And the hero of the movie is like the biggest car collector of India.
Oh.
Like amount of cars that he has. Like Mammootty's son, like the biggest star of Kerala.
Mm.
So he is also the biggest car collector. If you go back to listen, he's just not buying cars. He maintains the car himself. He exactly knows which car of his has what in it. So we maintain Mercedes, like BMW E series, E36, 1, 2, 3, 4, E46, all the series.
All the series.
Lexus LCs, all the series. Like, who does collection of that sort? Our man's doing it. So when I know I'm going to be driving his car, I was sold. I didn't want to, money is all immaterial. Like, they're calling me for passion. To drive one of my hero's car for his movie, what else could I have asked for? So I've been very grateful to God and the kind of journey that I've had. I think it's interesting. It's all feels like dream. And wherever I am today, the kind of people that we are growing with, I thought this will only be possible 20 years and we are only 10 years down the line. So imagine, how multifold this will grow. I'm excited for the journey for sure.
Obviously, Jeet, since you have promoted a lot and you have been promoted a lot by the people and the love of the people, and through this podcast, the stories which you have told, many of the people would be excited as well as interested to pursue this as a career as well. So you are an inspiration for a lot of our viewers.
Look, I mean, that's big words. I'm a mighty humble guy who just is crazy about his cars. And this is the place where I sit and enjoy and play with my cars. Find my peace. Like, I mean, life can get tough sometimes. Every time it's got tough, I've come back to this happy place of mine. But two things, if you have passion, whatever it is, dancing, singing, leave that mobile, leave that Instagram, leave that games that you're playing with out of mobile. Keep moving. That's the biggest medicine that you have. But go back and chase. Even more important, do some good to your heart. And I think you will find a way. See, it may not come easy, that I can tell you. But give it 2 years, 3 years, then the journey after that, straight up becomes heaven. And I think somebody who's getting inspired by me, I think if there's any element of inspiration that you're gathering out of me, please be safe. Like, we're just on to the journey of motorsports. There's so much more to do. International scenes have just started opening up for India. Be that one guy who's safe, guiding people. And please, all those jokers on the road who's doing hooliganism is no heroism. I mean, don't put people's life at risk. We are a big country, and one incident of somebody playing around or speeding on the road will bring motorsports being looked up in the dark light. It's not good for the sport. It's not good in general. Like, we're just rising up, right? We've just barely had any journey. So if you are one of them getting inspired, please be safe. Like, I mean, motorsports is great. Like I said, we've discussed over the podcast how many things it can really teach you. And it has taught me, and I can give you in writing that the journey is going to be worth it. How many years ever that you invest in your motorsports passion, it'll all pay you in multiple ways. It may not be money all the time, but follow it is going to be worth it. I'm telling you, like, I mean, I am crazy, but everybody else, like that 150 people with me as my crew, have not left me. That just tells you that how crazy they've found to be associated with motorsports.
Thank you so much, Jeet, for this kind words and inspiration. Also, a message to our people. Now we have talked a lot about the technicalities, about the motorsports. We'll talk about some fun part. Let's say, I'll give you a bike. I'll give you a bike, and you just tune that bike for me in 5 steps.
Okay.
Cool. I'll give you Xpulse.
Well, Xpulse straight up rally kit, straight up off-road tires. There's Race Dynamics ECU in it, which makes it a little more peppy. And everything which is not required on the bike, which makes it heavy, will be off. So now it's a lighter, fun bike, taking me around Pune, beautiful places. Plus, if I have an appetite for off-road, I go back in racing. And I come back as a happy kid, sleep like a baby, wake up Monday morning, go back to fresh to work. I mean, that's what I would do.
So, Jeet, you have been into the garages and you are more into the tuning stuffs as well. So we'll start with the last segment of this podcast, which is Jeet's garage pick. So I'll ask you some things. You just tell me which brand one should go for. It's not a promotion.
Okay. All right, this is interesting.
So best spark plug.
NGK, Japanese legendary, never failed me. All my cars have them.
Best air filter.
BMC by default, like we've used them for as many years, never failed us. All our cars have it, all our friends have it. Like if there's a birthday gift that I send to my friend, it'll be BMC air filter. That's much how I swear by it.
Chain loop.
Well, we use many. WD-40 is since that's time. But if I were to still use a chain loop, would be Motul.
Most underrated car.
Well, any Zen, any Esteem in current days. Earlier they were celebrated as heroes, but currently you get them for 40,000. The amount of fun they bring into you is not even funny.
Best sounding engine.
All Hondas.
Honda.
Any V6, pick up on Accord, and I'm telling you, just a normal engine with a straight pipe, you're straight into NFS.
Best tire brand.
Well, many, but a long association with JK, and I've used them, abused them, and I swear by them. So,
most overrated modification.
I like all of them. Like, I mean, you have to start your journey from somewhere. But overrated in India is there's a scam that's run by ECM tuning. They do shit, nothing. You can't validate it, and they charge you 30,000-40,000. So unless you really know your stuff, don't fall for ECM tuning.
Turbocharged or naturally aspirated?
Well, starting with naturally aspirated to get to know the game, but 100% switching to turbocharged.
Most overrated Indian bike?
Oh, there are many. Like, I don't know why Suzuki is doing what they're doing out of all the bikes lineup that they're doing.
Okay.
They don't need to, honestly, just be practical. You've done well in the past. You've had some legendary bikes. Keep it simple. Like, just don't put plastics out there in your bikes and sell it saying there's something. But I don't know what's up with their designer. But honestly, like, I love Suzuki. Like, there's standing one here.
Yeah.
That's the legacy that they've created. And I don't know what are they doing in India market.
One machine every enthusiast should drive?
Well, car or bike, I don't know. But like, a lot of people don't connect to gypsies. Like, they don't know what's gypsy. Like, a gypsy is only car which is still legendary. It's also known as king for a reason.
Absolutely.
No power steering, no power window, no suspensions. Like, I mean, we don't even know things like this that exist in a car. And is still nothing in the Indian market or automobile market has touched it. And I mean, and the way she drives. You get into a mud pool, come out, wash it, next day you're ready. No other car till date can do. And it is 40 years relevant and how. It's a king till date. Nothing comes close to it.
One car Jeet Tapaswi wants to drive?
Well, to drive is a long list. But few are the ones that are getting, like, I'm building on 5 project cars. Everything is in the mist. Like, we're literally revealing one at every underground.
Okay.
There are some fast cars, some fast drift cars, all international spec. So there's something that I'm very excited about that's going to be revealed in Bangalore. Wait and watch, I think, is going to be talk of the town.
For sure, our whole team will be there for your next drift jam. Thank you so much, Jeet, for your time. We have got to learn a lot of things, and hopefully our viewer have also learned a lot, and they will be inspired by what you have told them. One thing I want to ask you about our next season. We are doing our next season of Morphine Motorsports series in October at Coimbatore coast. Since we were planning in Pune, but due to rainy season, we have to shift it to Coimbatore. So one message you want to give to all our participants. This year we have got 85 teams, more than 3,000 participants coming to the event.
Look, I mean, 3,000 itself is too many people getting inspired with what you guys are doing. But I think what I've witnessed in Pune, it's a place to be. And like, they're now on to coast. It's one of the best tracks India has seen in the recent times. Narayan Karthikeyan, the legend, he owns the track itself. Like, I'd love to be there, but I think if you're into motorsports, this is the best place to start with. If you're in colleges, I think this is the best experience that you can get yourself as a private year to enroll and see what you experience. But yes, I think any appetite of motorsports, if you're in doubt, is this my passion or not my passion? This is the best testing platform that Morphine Motorsports, I think, provides. So I'm a big fan of it, and I think I'll see you there if you guys are coming. It's going to be wonderful to be in October at that track and see what these guys are creating this year.
Thank you so much, Jeet, for your kind words and the time you have given us. Hopefully we can associate more and give our viewers more ideas about how you can tune your cars. And last thing, we want you to announce your upcoming events, or viewers can join those events.
Well, for us, I think this year, we've taken a big decision. With 12 years just doing it in Pune, we said, let's just go around the country, meet more brothers, grow this community. So we started with Guwahati. We've had a fabulous response. We couldn't have asked for anything better with what happened in Guwahati. People were warm, and I think people have broken gates to enter inside to meet us and do things. That was amazing. Imran Khan joined us for that. So next, we did in Gujarat. Again, over flooding, kind of warm people have shown in the kind of things that they've loved about what we do. On to now, the city, which is Bangalore. We know the motorsports really heavy out there. The big players of the game are based out of there, and it's also our base, and also part of our headquarters sits out of Bangalore. So we're excited. We're at Arwani Grid. We're putting up things which are obviously better than what we did in Guwahati and in Gujarat. This is gonna blow people's mind with what all we are carrying to Bangalore. It's 30th of May. It's gonna get wild. Well, Azmat, I want to just tell you what people know us by, and I think that's a tractor. We call it as an Indian monster truck.
Indian monster.
So this one is a legendary guy. I mean, this sport runs very heavily in Punjab. We want to take him around the country to tell these kind of talented people are sitting here.
I've seen it.
Yeah, this what you see is one of one in India. We've lowered it. That's Nissan Navara. Very inspired with lowered truck. That's a culture straight from Japan.
Yeah.
And that's we're looking at putting a V8 in that. She already is a sweet drive, and that's how I get inspired by the older cars. Like they run so amazing. They're such a pleasure to drive on the road. Till date, I can tell you it's a single cabin. Sit with me. The power steering and the whole driving pleasure is next level.
Lovely.
Yeah.
All mods by Ajit Bhai.
All mods in-house. We've planned it like we said, aisi dikhni chahiye. One by one, we got it here, and she's a showstopper right now.
Okay.
That's a drift car. So we've got about 8 of them with us. These are all, like around 6 of them are C200s. We've got 2 BMWs, and there's a couple of surprises that are getting built, which are international standards. Yeah. This again is like we know dirt bikes, but we don't know supermotos. That's a sport that's enjoyed on the track. Not many people do it in India. So we are developing more supermoto bikes, and we want more people to go on a track. So there's a track that we are revealing on a Friday, the Go-Kart track. So this is where we are going to take her, put on the leathers, and probably start sliding on a tarmac track with something like this. So this is our recent build, just been revealed. You're the first one to see it in person.
Lovely.
Legendary car. We can't speak enough about this hero. This is what I drive this once in a week. Tells me where the car journey in India started. No bullshit, pure driving pleasure. Like no power steering, no power window, no suspensions, straight up engine talking to you and the input onto you, but still drives like a crazy.
Transmission?
Like it's still running the MPFI engine, which is 40 years old. You put somebody on race with me, still puts a lot of people on shame.
Oh.
Everybody knows me for my Zen. That was my first car, and once in a week that I would drive it to work. Allows me to stay humble, very fast, and Pune traffic the way it is right now, I think it's my go-to car. Yeah.
I've heard it's fire when it started. It's lovely.
She fires. So yeah, I think that's Activa. That's my first bike. So my first car and first bike, I still use it if I'm going to the gym. Keeps me humble and grounded to ride that once in a week to say where it all started. While I have all of these fancy machines now, but this is when I sat on this and planned all of this.
Oh.
So she takes a lot of respect out of that. Of course, there's a family bike. That's a Vespa, Italian Vespa. Import
Vespa,
straight from Vespa, and that's how the scooters were in the old days. And scooters still has a lot of place in my mind. Of course, Ducati, and I think anybody who knows me how much I love Ducatis.
Lovely.
This is the second one we've recently bought. It's a Desert X. That's straight out of my love for Dakar. Some point in time, if I continue to be inspired by Sanjay sir, some point in time I'll love to do Dakar runs as well. Yes. So this one is for touring across India, like my temple runs or visiting Panchgani, places like Lonavala. This is the bike to go to, and I think once in a week at work, Fridays are sorted. Yeah. So that's the dirt bike Kawasaki. So that's where the journey started on dirt biking. That's been a love, and we continue to maintain it. And I think, of course, that's where it all journey starts. Sometimes I want to improve my line, so the go-kart helps us to keep it fine-tuned and help us keep our journey humble. Like, I mean, sometimes you want to fight a line and race lines.
Race lines.
Yeah, these are the ones where it teaches so many aspects about driving.
Very soon.
And I think, drifting also has pretty much started from there.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I could connecting that drifting can come very naturally to me.
Yeah.
And now it's been 3 years since we got certified from Australia and Thailand.
Oh.
Today we are competing at, taking the sport to India level. I mean, what else could I have asked for?
Lovely.
It's been very brilliant for me.
Now, very soon our team will try to give you one of the best drift cars.
Oh, I'm super excited. I love for the kids to build one for me. And if that's the easier way of taking drifting across India, why not?
For sure, our team will do it.
Yeah, 100%.
Thanks. Thank you, man.
Pleasure, brother.